So this winter keeps getting more and more exciting. Woke up this morning and we have frigid temperatures again, and couldn't get the car started, couldn't get the truck started, and I thought, what the heck am I going to do now? I am pretty far away from the next town, and there really is no mechanics or anything around here. So I thought, I'm going to go get the battery charger, throw the battery charger on high, throw it on the car and the truck, because the frigid cold weather tends to drain the batteries out, or makes it so that they don't want to start. Terminal end comes off. Alright, let's do a repair on this thing. So what I did, I slid my shrink wrap on. Here's the terminal end. We'll give this copper a couple turns. She's on, and I don't have a regular crimper for this, but in this case, the old multi-purpose tool is going to work. Alright, so that's on nice and secure. And I'm going to go ahead and slide the shrink wrap back on. And once we get the shrink wrap on, we'll get to making this thing watertight. And of course it's as tight as can be to get it on, but I've at least got it on part way. And you just simply heat it up and it does its magic. So there we go. We got one side close to being fixed. We'll give that a little bit more right there. And then on this terminal, I've got a set screw that we'll go ahead and loosen up. And we'll put the screw through this piece and then screw it back together. And that right there is your Northwoods fix. All right, keep your fingers crossed. We'll give her the old college try.
Well, there's a simple explanation. The eyewear industry has been dominated by a single company.
How do you turn the radio off? There we go. All right. Oh, yeah. Started right away. That's all she needed. A little bit of battery charging. So let's go ahead and get some snow plowed, and then we'll get to our chores for today. Once again, we got a repeat from last week. We've got probably another foot of snow that's accumulated since I was last up here. You can see the plow truck is all covered again, and the driveway is all full of snow. So I'm gonna go ahead and let the plow truck warm up, and then we'll have to clear out the driveway and get back to enjoying the cabin. So today I'm testing out a gift that I received over Christmas from my work, and it is a Milwaukee fuel chainsaw. We've got our work cut out for us here at the cabin. I'm gonna go ahead and take down a whole bunch of these real small trees that are starting to spring up close to the cabin. And the reason why I'd like to take them down is simply because these things really shade the living heck out of my solar setup that I have. And when you take them down in the winter time, usually that's pretty much the easiest time to take them down. because then you don't have to worry about cleaning up of the leaves. So I'm at least going to drop them now, and then I'll let them lay down, and the deer can come and nibble on the tips of the trees and use it as feed. And then in the spring, when all the snow is gone, I'll go ahead and pull them out with the ATV. Pretty much see behind me, I took out quite a bit of little trees, and the saw did pretty good for that. I've got a lot of bigger trees that I want to take out, but I'm not going to try dropping those without somebody else around, just for safety purposes. But yeah, this thing cuts up pretty decent. I used it to cut up some of the smaller logs, and I have to tell you, I'm pretty impressed. It's a little different using a lighter saw like this. I'm used to having a saw. I usually use a Stihl MS 391, and that's quite a bit heavier saw than what this is. But I think when you're in the back country, like for clearing out snowmobile trails and stuff like that, this will work out pretty decent. So, all right, let's go ahead and let this stuff lay. I'm going to put the saw away. We've got some visitors coming in. I want to see if we can surprise them. Let's go in the cabin and we'll check it out through the window in the cabin, because I think if I walk around the cabin, I'll spook them away. All right, let's get something to warm our bones. It is absolutely frigid outside. I'm going to show you one of my favorites that I have when I'm at the cabin. And the reason it's my favorite is because on part of it I get to sometimes work with my wife. I guess I don't always do as much as what I should. I don't want to take the credit away from her, because she's really the heart and soul behind this. But I love gardening, and we like to be a self-sufficient family. So pretty much all the food that we have is food that we've grown or we have hunted. And this is some cabbage soup with some vegetables from our garden. And then inside of it, this is our first year trying to ever can meat. We've got ground venison. And then the first thing that I poured in was some beef broth. And the beef broth is going to kind of give this more of a liquidy substance to it. When we pack it in here, I like packing in the meat and the vegetables, and oftentimes I forget to put a lot of the liquid in. I'll get this to fall in there, and then we'll go ahead and put this on the stove and let it heat up until it comes to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, then it's pretty much done. So we are at a boil, and it's been boiling for about 5 minutes. We'll take it off the wood burning stove and get her ready to eat. All right, so this is going to be kind of like a comfort food type of recipe. It has a bunch of things that we raised in the garden and canned ourselves. We've got homegrown tomatoes, which those of you who grow your own tomatoes, you know there's nothing better than having homegrown tomatoes. And we've got the venison that I harvested this year in there. We've got cabbage in there, celery in there, a little bit of carrots that is in there, and some beans in there. And this is just a really tasty treat for when it's a frigid cold day. You really enjoy eating something like this. And if you're not big into venison, that added beef broth that I put in here, that really helps take any of the, not that our venison is gamey, but if there is any type of gamey venison that you have, say if you put a bad shot on your deer and it ran around a little bit, those traditionally taste maybe a little bit gamier. This would be a way to prepare it, and it really makes it taste like some nice pulled venison steak that's in there. So, all right, I'm going to quit gabbing and get to eating. All right, folks, well, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this week's video. I appreciate you guys joining me. I appreciate the support that you give me week in and week out. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit the bell button. It'll notify you each time I post a new video. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. All right, we'll catch you next week on Carl's Off the Grid.